Good morning, everybody, and welcome. So welcome especially to our new charity partners and to those new charity colleagues. So this might be your first webinar. Actually, it's the first webinar Much Love have done for this year, the first of many to come. Just to give a little bit of background to those that are new, although myself and Jane are presenting today with Sally as our wing lady, we actually do have a lot of charity partners present these webinars, and they have an exciting topic content for the webinar. So keep your eyes posted. Like Sally mentioned, this is being recorded and will be uploaded to your charity site in your partner area, along with a downloadable PDF of the content. So you can, sorry, I've just conceded few chat questions. So you will be able to watch back at your own leisure, and also in that charity site you will find what's up and coming and past webinars that you can have a look at if you need to remind yourself of anything that charities have presented. So yeah, let's go on. Let's go on with the presentation. So next slide. Thank you, Sally. So the purpose of the trigger communication. So before we just go into this, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an outline. Ellie can't hear anything.
Sorry, I just want to check that everybody can hear, because yeah, we can hear fine.
Thumbs up. I can.
Okay, good. Excellent. Lots of thumbs up. So I think that's hilarious. So I think if you can't hear, it must be a local setting. So feel free to leave and come back. Like I said, it is recorded, so you can always watch it back. Okay. Somebody, and just sorry, before you kick back off again, Jackie, somebody asked about the slides. They will be available to our partners through the support partner area. Over to you, Jackie. Ignore all the comments. I'll deal with those.
Okay, that's great. So good. So I'm glad you can all hear my dulcet toes. I'll try and make it a little bit more exciting. Actually, before we do this, I think we could do a little poll. So so who does actually do any sort of trigger communications? Just so I thought it'd be interesting to know if anybody does this. So it's just a simple yes and no, just so we get a feel if there's anything out there that you do already. So if you can just put yes or no on that little poll box, and then Sally will be able to...
on this platform before. This is exciting.
I'm going to tick yes, because I did run one in my previous. Can
people see the responses? Oh. If I think we'll just give it a minute. You can see the responses. Brilliant. I love all the thumbs up. They're hilarious. Brilliant. So
yeah, so
85% of people have never run a trigger campaign, so this is a captive audience.
Brilliant. And also for that 15% that have, if you've got any questions or ideas, just stick them in the chat box. You know, that'd be good, that we can share your experience as well. So just to give a little background then, as we've got so many people that haven't done a trigger campaign, and especially if you're new, that's it. So I'm going to tell you what a trigger campaign is, Sarah. So basically, it's a monthly rolling set of communications with the aim of delivering appropriate messages to help with continue to build the relationship with the tribute guardian, keeping that connection with your charity. You're also supporting them, especially if they're recently bereaved, to go through that journey, to hopefully get them to a place where they're really connected with you, and the fundraising for you, or making repeat donations to their tribute fund. So with a monthly rolling campaign, what this would mean is that there'd be your pot of, you'd put your stake in the ground, month one, tribute guardians, all those that created their tribute fund would get month one communication. They'd roll on to month two, and then the month that are just created tributes will become your new month ones, and you do it on a rolling month. It might not have to be every month. You could miss a month. You could work out your own stewardship program. There might be 1 month where you don't get many tributes set up, so you might hold them back for the next month where you have more tributes to set up to make the campaign rolling. So does that give you a little background of what a monthly rolling communication? Yeah, lots of thumbs. Oh, and a little love hearts. Yes, we like that one as well. So on this slide here, you will see the purpose of the trigger communications for your charity. Why they're an asset, and for your supporter. So I won't read it all out because you will be able to have a downloadable copy of this, but it is split out for the benefits as well. Right, so next slide, Sally, please. So before we get into actually the detail of the content of what each month, I just wanted to say that ACSS are a completely made up charity. They are Much Love's demo charity. So we're not using a live charity here. The imagery you're seeing is Much Love's imagery. So you can, use the idea and adapt it for your own brand tone. And also the copy, we have populated all the email content for you. And again, you can absolutely change this copy up to switch with your brand tone, or we're happy for you to use the copy. So just wanted to just explain that. The other thing just to say is that I'm really conscious that not all of you come from massive charities where that you're going to have digital colleagues, data colleagues who are going to be able to help you set up your trigger campaign, because you will need a bit of help setting it up. So don't be put off by that, because these communications are also geared that you could use them as a standalone to go appropriately to your supporters as and when in a timely fashion, or there might be one that you might want to use at a particular point of a stewardship journey. So you can mix them up. So we're presenting it as a personalised trigger mailing where we've got links and buttons that would go back to the tribute fund, or maybe supporting where the supporter could find more in-memory information. The other thing probably is sometimes a good idea is that in memory, if there's a sub-brand of your main brand. So for example, if you work for a charity where you can recover from your illness, or you are a survivor, you're not always bereaved, that charity's messages mainly going to be about your survivors, recovery. So to cut through the noise of that, it's sometimes nice to have a little bit of space where you've got a sub-brand that actually is for in-memory supporters and talks to them in a slightly different tone because they're bereaved. So it's just something to consider. I know most charities do have their own in-memory pages on their website, so you've got the perfect place to have that sub-brand. I just wanted to make you aware that I know not everybody does that. So month one, it's just a real thank you, no ask. So we're not going to ask straight away for donations. That button says donate to your, it should say to your fund, or visit your tribute fund. It could be anything personalized you wanted it to be, but this is all about just letting your supporters know they've created a tribute fund, and actually you're grateful of that connection, and you're grateful that the donations in memory of their loved one is coming to your charity. So it's letting them know that they are valued, almost, that they do make that big difference. So that's what that copy within this email is about. Just another little tip for our Optimum partners. With the Optimum service, you do get grief chat. So you could, in the email footer, add the grief chat email link, and that would take your supporter just to a little page where they'd be able to access an online bereavement supporter. So it's just something to think about, because you're giving your supporter what they want to do. So I can see a lot of questions are popping in. So how much you can personalize, that's entirely up to you guys. You could, if you've got the resource to pull through the data that says Dear John, you can do that, but if you haven't, you just make them generic. It depends on your resource and how you can do. The purpose of this webinar, we're showing you the personalized version, so hope that makes sense. Right, if you want to go on to the next slide, Sally. So month 2, so most supporters who've created their tribute will be recently bereaved, so they've probably moved on and they will have had the funeral and they'll have had lots going on. So this is really just a soft reminder, it's no ask again, about what functionality can they have on their tribute fund. So if you think about it, they've created the tribute, you've probably had donations from the funeral. Now just let them remind them that there are other functionality they could do. So a nice thought is that show them where the light candles are, just do a little candle, just to remind them. Under the light candle link, that would be the link to their tribute fund. And that's where they can choose from the gallery of candles, or they could choose, you might decide that you wouldn't have that communication about candles. You could do, add a virtual gift to your tribute fund. So within their tribute areas, they've also got a gift folder, and they could add flowers or a card. Cards are quite popular because you can have a nice card, missing you, thinking of you. So there's lots and lots of things you can do. We've chosen candle, second month of bereavement. It still feels that that's appropriate. Okay, and again, if you're an optimum partner, maybe on this second communication, that's where you could include that grief chat link as well. So you've really got the supporter at your, you're thinking of them, and you're trying to support their bereavement journey. Okay, if we go through to the next slide, and you'll be pleased to know that I'm handing over to Jane, so you won't have to listen to my dulcet tones for a minute.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see so many of you here this morning. So month 3. So when the tribute is first created, it's generally at what is a really emotional and confusing time for the family. It may well even be that the page was set up by a funeral director. So here's an opportunity to remind them of everything that is available through the tribute, so that they can really go on and build the tribute into a really lovely, wonderful digital remembrance space. So you can share with them all the functionality that is available, remind them that they can add photos, stories, videos, music, birthday cards where they can leave a message, gifts where again they can leave a message, a bunch of flowers. You can remind them that there's a journal element available on the tribute that they can make use of. So perhaps under the Find Under More button, you would have a link sending your supporters to your In Memory page, where you can show a bit more guidance on what they can do with the tribute page, or perhaps add an FAQ section with a little bit more information. Heart Research UK is a great example of doing this. Next slide, please, Sally. So month 4, we're here to help. This month is a time to reiterate the message that the charity is still here to support the family after the loss of their loved one. Whilst you've already offered condolences when the tribute page was initially set up, possibly by lighting a candle, as so many of our partners do, but now you want to remind the supporters that you are there to help them going forward. Everybody loves knowing that someone's got their back, that someone is there to listen, and that someone is prepared to have that what could possibly be a difficult conversation. So knowing that your charity is there for them is really important and really comforting to the family. So perhaps here under your Find Out More button, you can redirect supporters to the in-mem colleague or your supporter care area, and really make this email a really personal email, perhaps adding a photo of your in-mem colleague or their direct telephone number. And if your in-mem colleague is only part-time, just make sure that that information is included and that their voicemail message gives enough guidance so people know when they can speak to somebody. And on to the next slide, Sally. Events. So fundraising in memory is so often part of the healing process for families. It's an opportunity to get involved and really do something to remember their loved one, and whilst thanking and supporting the charity that has looked after the family. The beauty of the tribute page is that all this fundraising can be in the one place. So raising money in memory of their loved one and seeing the event on the tribute page really does give the family and friends a sense of achievement that they've helped and caused a bit of a difference. And you must remember as well that anyone can add an event to a tribute page. It's not necessarily the tribute guardian. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be a colleague. And as I said, adding the events to the tribute page means that all the fundraising, no matter who's doing it, can be brought together under the umbrella of the tribute. Supporters can easily add their own events to the tribute page. You just click on the events button and you can add your event and add information about it, the time, what it is you're doing. You can even blog about the event and add updates. Much Loved also have API integration with Just Giving, which means that you're able to go off and set up your Just Giving page as you normally would, but you can super easily add the page to the tribute by just copying the URL of the Just Giving page and pasting it into the box on the Much Loved tribute page. All the donations and all the messages are pulled across on a regular basis. I think it's on an hourly basis, and they will all show on the tribute. And all the donations, the amount donated, will also be added to the total showing on the front of the tribute. At Much Loved, we see all sorts of events added to tribute pages, from running a marathon, climbing a mountain, or an annual rugby game. And more often than not, the pages that have fundraising events on them will go on to raise much, much more in the way of donations. So here under the Find Out More button, perhaps redirect people directly to your events page or directly to your events colleague. Again, just making it really easy for them to speak to the person that they need to speak to. And the next slide, please, Sally. Regular giving. Regular gifts can be added to Much Loved tribute pages. And recorded on the pages, but not collected. But the good news is that this is in our development, and hopefully in the not too distant future, you'll be able to collect them through the pages as well. Many supporters choose to set up a direct debit, and for Optimum partners, you do have the ability to add this regular donation to a tribute page. It's really straightforward. You just find the page in your partner area, click on more details and scroll down until you see regular giving. You're able to add the amount, the message, who it's from, etc. And the amount donated every month will be added to the total on the front of the page. So it's a really nice way for the family to see their continual support for the charity. And again here under the Find Out More, make it a nice straightforward journey for people to go directly to your regular giving page, see who they need to speak to, and perhaps explain to them that if they do set up a regular gift, it will show on their tribute page. And that's it for me, and back to Jackie.
Thank you very much, Jane. So just to reiterate, although we're saying month 1, month 2, month 3, etc., you can mix these up. This is just our presentation of how we would run it and where we think the message is appropriate. You might have within your own charities a different stewardship journey where these messages appear at different times. So, you know, do mix them up where you think they would be appropriate. Or if you've got a campaign going on within the charity that this might link into as well, you can always piggy bank using these for your in memory part of that campaign. So month 7, this is about sharing your tribute. So hopefully by now your supporters will have come through their bereavement journey, will be in a more comfortable place. Hopefully they have been visiting their tribute. But if not, this is sort of a gentle reminder that, you know, they created a tribute. They might want to go back and visit the tribute to read those messages that were put on at the beginning. They often bring comfort, and we know many people revisit and they add different messages at different times. It's just a place where they can leave their thoughts. Maybe you could ask your family and friends to, you know, just have a look at the message and share any memories, maybe of happier times now that, especially, you know, the funeral has passed. So, you know, and then underneath we would suggest visit my tribute to drive that tribute guardian to the, so the tribute guardian is the person who's created the tribute. I can see we've had that question in the chat. You know, just to revisit their tribute, and they could do. And something hot off the press I've learned this morning is that one of the things we've got in development is now we're going to have the QR code that's going to be in the settings of the tribute. So this will mean that the tribute guardian can download the QR and share that with family and friends as well. So an easier way. We've been being asked for this development for ages. So as soon as we let you know this is up and running, we'll send out a communication to all our partners, and that's something else that you could chat to your tribute guardians. You know, you could let them know that there's this new functionality. Great news, the QR code is now there ready for them to use. Okay, so month 8, if that's okay, Sally. Next slide. So this is just a little fundraising idea. Now, it's what we've thought of a little fundraising, a quick win sort of fundraising idea. Now, I know you lot are very, very creative because I've seen your dedication pages and the sort of ideas that you come up with. So I'm sure you can also have lots of little creative ideas that will knock this one out the park. But one of ours was just like a little penny for your thought. So again, building on that, sharing your tribute with your family and friends, ask them to visit, share a happy memory, and make a donation at the same time. It could be a picture, it could be a thought, it could be, you know, a family member might have got married, you know, a little place, a little community for your family to share your thoughts and, you know, share those things. So this is just called a penny for your thoughts. But as I said, I'm sure already the cogs are whirring in your brains thinking of what else you could do. So the purpose is, again, just to try and re-engage tribute guardians back with their tribute, but more importantly share it. And you know, the beauty of a tribute fund is that the idea is for those repeat donations, but it is a place of comfort for them. So, you know, going back and revisiting hopefully will help them through that bereavement process as well. Okay, next slide please, Sally. So this was the final sort of communication that we thought you would communicate with your tribute guardians, and that's like a big thank you. So it's just reiterating that they did make a difference. You're really grateful for their support. Hopefully by now you have formed that relationship, and you keep them connected. They've revisited their tribute. Hopefully they're even doing events for you. So this is a big thank you. You know, it's just an idea. Again, this sort of big thank you communication can be used at different points of any stewardship journey. So it's a good idea just to think about them. So you're thanking them on behalf of your charity for what they've done for you as well, making them feel just as valued now as you made them feel valued at the beginning when you started this journey. Okay, so a very soft ask with maybe donate to your fund on the button. but you know, you don't have to. You know, you could just visit your tribute again. But it's just ways of having soft asks without always making that fundraising ask. Next slide, please, Sally. So this is the festive email. So depending on where your supporters fall within their trigger campaign is where you would slot in the festive email. So the month of December, but it might be month 4, month 5. It will be appropriate whatever month they fall in, because actually the festivities happen all the year. They're not going to get away from it. The beauty of this communication is it could also be an absolute standalone for all tribute guardians, so people who aren't on this stewardship trigger campaign. So we, as Much Loved, will always add a Christmas candle to the candle gallery at the beginning of November. So you could send out a nice little festive message candle, letting them know that although they can't buy a present for their loved one, actually they can still think of them, add the candle to their festive, to their tribute, and hopefully while they're doing that, they're going to make a donation to you as well. So it is fundraising and it is a quick ask, but you're not doing it in a way that would upset them, and you know, it's a nice little touch. So that's just another option for you to use for all tribute guardians, not just those supporters that you've put on this trigger campaign journey. Okay, so I think that gives us a flavour of all the communications that we propose and the sort of layout we do and what we think. So I can see